Hello and welcome to our episode today that deals with copywriting and advertising production techniques. Our subject expert is Dr. Saad bin Zia and I am Sakshi Mandwal. Dr. Saad is a seasoned journalist and researcher with more than a decade of industry as well as teaching experience. Today's episode deals with copywriting and advertising production techniques. More specifically, the various kinds of advertising techniques used in designing of advertisements for print media, radio and television, films as well as outdoor media are discussed in detail. Also, the concepts of ideation and visualization are looked into. In the realms of advertising, the technique refers to the approach used to attract the attention of consumers. The basic purpose is to influence consumer feelings towards a product, service or cause. What is copywriting? What is the art and science of copywriting? How art of copywriting differs for different media such as print, newspapers and magazines, radio, television and internet. In the world of advertising, copy refers to the text or words used to describe a product in an advertisement. Copywriting simply refers to an advertisement copy. Like advertisements we come across in magazines, on billboards, in newspapers, and even text we see on TV. Copywriting is the process of writing advertising promotional materials. Copywriting is the art of writing sales and marketing related materials. The art of copywriting involves the composition of headings, subheadings, and the body copy of advertisements, catalogs, or brochures. Copywriting is any writing that offers a product or service for sale. Unlike news or editorial writing, copywriting is all about getting the reader to take action. That action might be to purchase, opt in, or engage with the product, service, or company. Copywriting is an art of writing and compiling creativity in writing content. Copywriting is the creative process of conceptualizing advertisements and marketing devices such as events and other platforms promoting brands or services. Actually, copywriting is the use of words and ideas to promote a person, business, opinion, or idea. In the case of a print advertisement, the body copy is the actual paragraph of supporting text providing additional facts and benefits to the headline. One of the kinds of magazine advertisement copy is the advertorial. Advertorial is an advertisement that looks somewhat like editorial work or like a part of the magazine or an article in the newspaper. However, in a television advertisement, the body copy would manifest in dialogue, the announcer's script, etc. Copywriting is writing copy for the purpose of advertising or marketing. The copy is meant to persuade someone to buy a product or influence their beliefs. In the realm of web marketing, copywriting is one of the most essential elements of effective online marketing. Web copy can take many different forms. It could be that three-phrase Google advertisement that appears in the margins of many websites, or it could be something much longer such as an ebook or a series of articles that are keyworded and search engine optimized. Another kind of copywriting is direct response copywriting. In its physical print form, it can be recognized as advertisements that end up in your mailbox. They are mailed directly to you in the hope that you'll make a direct purchase in response to them. The art and science of direct response copywriting involves strategically delivering words that get people to take some form of action. Yet another kind of copywriting occurs in marketing collateral. This can be things like newsletters and brochures. These are publications that often endeavor to sell you something, but it may be a softer sell. It may be couched in useful information or about us type of content. About us copywriting is also one of the most prevalent forms of copywriting today. Good copywriting features the so-called golden thread, the one characteristic that brings cohesion and a level of uniformity to an advertising campaign. The golden thread makes an advertisement instantly recognizable as part of a greater campaign and enables the audience to develop a framework of reference regarding the advertised brand and its values. Now let us look at these common advertising techniques used for different types of media, such as print, newspaper and magazines, radio, television, and the internet. It is to be remembered that the technique of copywriting is same for all types of media. However, the presentation differs. Advertising techniques are the tools that the manufacturers use in advertisements to win over customers. Usually, these advertising techniques fall under two fundamental categories: A. Rational and B. Emotional. There are advertisements which employ both of these techniques at the same time. However, the most commonly used and effective technique is emotional technique. These techniques are basically aimed at influencing the feelings of the consumer towards a product or service. There are at least 18 major types of advertising techniques, which are as follows: bandwagon technique, testimonial technique, snob appeal technique, plain folks technique, facts and figures technique, expert opinion technique, logical technique, informational or rational technique, glittering generalization technique, transfer or emotional technique, name calling technique, weasel word technique, repetition technique, humor technique, fear technique, sex technique, hyperbole technique, functional needs technique. Now let us discuss each one of them in detail. Bandwagon is a persuasive technique that invites you to join the crowd. It often uses weasel words. Bandwagon is a form of propaganda that exploits the desire of most people to join the crowd or be on the winning side and avoid winding up the losing side. Few of us would want to wear nerdy clothes, smell differently from everyone else, or be unpopular. If bandwagon commercials is too obvious, viewers may reject the product outright. According to persuasive techniques, a testimonial is using the words of a celebrity who is known by a lot of people to persuade a person or people to do something. Some other persuasive techniques include transfer, common sense, and repetition. Statement endorsing an idea or product by a prominent person, such as musical artists, sports giants, actors, actresses, etc. Product can be inside or outside particular field. In this technique, famous people promote an item and draw attention. A snob is a type of advertisement technique that highlights the exclusivity of the product, thus creating desirability. It markets to the consumer's sense of superiority or individuality. Snob technique aims to flatter, makes assumption, insinuation that this product idea is better than the others. Thus, those that use it are two. Plain folks technique is opposite of snob appeal. It identifies product, idea with a locality or country. It offers practical product for ordinary people.
Hi, it's Vince with ShamWow. You'll be saying wow every time you use this towel. It's like a chamois, it's like a towel, it's like a sponge. A regular towel doesn't work wet. This works wet or dry. This is for the house, the car, the boat, the RV. ShamWow holds 20 times its weight in liquid. Look at this. It just does the work. Why do you want to work twice as hard? Doesn't drip. Doesn't make a mess. You wring it out, you wash it in the washing machine. Made in Germany. You know the Germans always make good stuff. You can cut it in half, use one as a bath mat, drain your dishes with the other one, use one as a towel. Olympic divers, they use it as a towel. Look at that, completely dry. Put a wet sweater, roll it up, it dries your sweaters. Here's some cola. Wine, coffee, cola, pet stains. Not only is the damage going to be on top, there's your mildew. That is going to smell. See that?
I can't live without it. I just love it.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even buy paper towels anymore.
If you're going to wash your cars or any kind of vehicle, you'd be out of your mind not to own one of these.
All I can say is ShamWow.
The ShamWow sells for $19.95, but you get one for the house, one for the car, two for the kitchen and bathroom. But if you call now, within the next 20 minutes, because we can't do this all day, we'll give you a second set absolutely free. So that's 8 ShamWows for $19.95. Comes with a 10-year warranty. Here's how to order.
In this persuasive technique, numbers, tables, and graphs are used to show statistics of both the sides. Statistics are used to prove superiority. An advertisement might read, This product kills 99% of your germs. Surveys may be conducted and the results may be presented in the form of graphs to show people's opinions. In this technique, experts such as doctors, dentists, engineers, fitness trainers are shown to say that they recommend this product. Doctors or experts believe this product is best. Advertisers try to convince you to make the right decision, smart decision or best choice in purchasing their product. Through this technique, the reasons for buying the product such as low cost, cost-benefit analysis or the solution the product offers are highlighted. This technique is more effective for the consumers who are more conscious, business buyers or analytical personality types. Feature. Focus on dominant traits of the product. Competitive. Makes comparison to other brands. Price. Makes price offer the dominant point. News. News announcement about the product. Popularity. Stresses the brand's popularity. Examples. Choosy moms choose GIF. The body that you have always wanted. New Sunny is here. Smarten up. The testimonial is a common advertising method used in advertising media such as radio, television, newspapers, magazines and online commercials and sales letters. In a testimonial, an end user of a product or service as opposed to the manufacturer or creator attests to its effectiveness and explains how others can benefit. Testimonial advertising uses a number of techniques. In this technique, simple phrases that sound good but have no real value or meaning are used. Glittering because it's falsely attractive. It is often used by politicians. Examples. I am the candidate for change. Up to 50% off. In this technique, a conscious attempt is made to draw attention to the positive feelings or desires connected with a product. Advertisements that use transfer or emotional appeal tend to transfer positive feelings we have of something we know to something we do not have. This technique is a little bit dissimilar to snob technique in that these people just appear happy, not better than other people. In this technique, the following are made use of. Emotional words, love or popularity, fame, wealth, power, attractiveness, luxury, beautiful, paradise, economical. Name calling is normally used in a negative sense. This propaganda technique is mostly used to leave the opponent undesirable. By using demeaning words, name callers try to demean the other views and opinions of others that do not match their own. This can be seen majorly in politics. It is a way of smearing an opponent. Intent is to damage the opponent. It also arouses suspicion of opponent. Intention is to create an uneasy feeling. Used by politicians and product companies, derogatory language, sarcasm or ridicule of competitor or opponent. Words or phrases in an advertisement are repeated several times for effect. Repetition gets your attention and stresses a slogan or product. Repeating something helps you remember the product or advertisement. Example. Head on, apply directly to the forehead. Head on, apply directly to the forehead. Head on, applied directly to the forehead. Head on, applied directly to the forehead. Weasels are empty words, saying something that is true of all brands in that category. For example, great lash increases the diameter of every lash. So do all mascaras, making the product look bigger or smaller. Claims to have an advantage over another product. For example, Campbell's gives you tasty pieces of chicken and not one but two chicken stocks. Does the presence of two stocks improve the taste? Making a general statement based on only a few examples. For example, wow, did you see that teenager run that red light? Teenage drivers are really bad drivers. This technique is mainly applied to divert audience from more serious messages and offer audience a cause to laugh at. If done often through the utilizing witty visuals and or languages, however, caution must be exercised not to overdose the advertisement with humor. Of course, humor lightens the tone in a message, but mind you, it should not take away from emphasis on benefits or the value proposition for customers. Fear techniques are the persuasive messages that emphasize the harmful physical or social consequences on failing to comply with the recommendations of the message. Fear appeals draw attention to common fears and or risks and then associate them with not using the product or services or with not performing a certain action. Fear appeals play on a person's emotions in a negative manner. Advertising using fears appeals suggests that if the consumer does what the ad recommends, then the suggested harm will not occur. Fear technique is mostly used in political campaigns, public health campaigns, example, drugs, alcohol, medications, diseases, etc. More subtle advertisements, elements that make fear technique successful are 1. A threat. 2. A specific recommendation about how the audience should behave. 3. Audience perception that the recommendation will be effective in addressing the threat. 4. The audience perception that they are capable of performing the recommended behavior. Two main components of public health campaigns. Threat component. Magnitude of threat. How serious is it? Susceptibility to threat. Possibility of experienced threat. Can it happen to me? Recommended response. Response efficacy. Does response work? Self-efficacy. Can I do response? Barriers to self-efficacy. What blocks me from doing response? For example, a television commercial portrays a terrible automobile accident, the fear appeal, and reminds viewers to wear their seat belts, the fear-reducing behavior. A pamphlet from an insurance company includes pictures of houses destroyed by floods, the fear appeal, and follows up with details about homeowners insurance, the fear-reducing behavior. The age-old adage, sex sells, is still relevant in this 21st century. The underlying idea behind impregnating an advertisement with sexual or sensual theme is to rekindle the human being's basic instincts of physical touching, romance and relationships. Sex technique in advertising is usually perceived as a valuable tactic to attract attention to the product. More often than not, sex component in advertising is not direct, rather hidden and understated. Some of the methods used in sex technique are the best example for this is the advertisement of internet hosting services provider GoDaddy.com. The company uses a combination of racy television advertisement and provocative online advertisements which feature GoDaddy girls to attract. The advertisements feature scantily clad women and sensual messaging. This compels the people to ultimately visit the website. Some products are inherently built for sex and sensual technique. For example, Axe body spray advertisements convey the message that men who apply Axe deodorants radiate out very good smell, hence attract women. Makeup brands, colognes, perfumes and other health and beauty advertisements frequently display men and women talking or conveying the benefits of the products with their looks or attractiveness. Hyperbole is a ubiquitous technique in advertisement. It can be found across all the mediums from print, radio to TV commercials and websites. Hyperbolic statements do not reflect reality and heavy loaded with exaggerations. Different kinds of hyperboles are visual hyperbole advertisements demonstrate how consumers may obtain remarkable, extraordinary benefits if they use this particular product. For example, the advertisements of Red Bull energy drink promises to give the consumer wings to fly above his lethargy. Some advertisements contain audio signals to push their products. For example, a woman surrounded by noise and stress from everyday life pleads, "Calgon, take me away." The advertisement replaces the noise and stress with soft music and luxurious bath. A man takes a seat in a Toyota Corolla next to a sleeping mother badger and her pups while someone outside fires cannon. The cannon fails to wake the badgers, but the man's ringing cell phone wakes the angry mother. A hyperbole may also be created by using verbal cues. For example, the Joe Isuzu advertisement of the 1980s touted that the car maker's sport utility vehicles had more seats than the Astrodome and could carry a 2,000-pound cheeseburger. The advertisement for Old Spice deodorant, featuring actor model Isaiah Mustafa, promised the ladies in the audience that the spokesman is the man your man could smell like if he used the product. Instead of emphasizing the benefits of their own products with hyperbole, companies often go in for negative hyperbole technique to attack the competition. Advertisements v Genie DVR service compares the inconvenience of cable-based DVR services to a bite from a turtle at the zoo, a dentist sneezing into a patient's open mouth, or an electric shock from a car battery. Political campaign ads are the benchmark for negative hyperbole, as one side attempts to stain the reputation of the other with outlandish claims and exaggeration of guilt by associations. Manufacturers draw on a different advertising technique for consumers who buy their products for functional reasons. Because some consumers pay attention to the functional attribute of the products to fulfill their basic needs. They want products that build their self-esteem, help them fit in with friends, or elevate their status. Consider some examples of functional needs in advertising and how you can incorporate this concept in selling your own products or services. A company advertising a consumer product such as toothpaste must first identify the functional needs for this product. People need toothpaste to fight cavities. They may want it for fresh breath and a whiter smile to impress the opposite sex, but the functional needs for toothpaste are preventing tartar, plaque buildup, and tooth decay. Therefore, a small business advertising toothpaste would create an advertising message that focuses on fluoride protection and the cleaning properties of toothpaste when appealing to consumers' functional needs. Consumers who buy food products for functional reasons are eating to sate hunger. They may not be as particular about brands of cereals. Some may be more price conscious. Many companies selling generic brands use this particular type of advertising strategy, whether they are selling bread, cereal, or grain products. They know that many consumers will purchase the brand because of the price. A small computer company also may appeal to certain functional needs of consumers. These functional needs may include speed, convenience, and savings rather than status-building elements being promoted by more expensive brands. One example of appealing to functional needs in advertising for computers is the slice of death commercial, according to Washington State University. These types of commercials illustrate the consequences of greed. The advertiser, for example, may provide scenarios of two people buying different computers. One purchases the expensive brand for his big home office. The other buys the advertiser's brand. Both computers are the same as far as size of the hard drive, design, and functions is concerned. However, the advertiser's brand is less expensive. In conclusion, the big shot who brought a more expensive brand loses his home and goes broke, making the more practical decision maker look better. Ideation is the creative process of generating, developing, and communicating new ideas, where an idea is understood as a basic element of thought that can be visual, concrete, or abstract. Ideation comprises all stages of a thought cycle, from innovation to development to actualization. As such, it is an essential part of the advertising. Ideation means to conceptualize an idea. It is the thought processes involved in the apprehending and expressing a new concept, often in a graphical format. The process of forming and relating ideas. The ideation means to conceive or generate an idea and implement it. Ideas are the result of mental activity that can be based on past or present knowledge, thoughts, opinions, convictions, or principles. Ideation is all about coming up with the big idea. The key challenge, however, is knowing what constitutes a big idea. The goal of ideation should be to construct the single best solution to satisfy the unmet customer needs of the target customers and segments. Visualization is the process to consciously create ideal reality. Visualization is the fundamental technique underlying reality creation. Visualization is the process of using thought power to consciously imagine and create. The term visualizing is used in two different senses by advertising professionals. Visualization in the broad sense of shall we put the idea into words or into pictures? Visualization refers to the execution of the visual idea, the elements such as layout, illustrations, colors, and the like that give shape to the idea of the advertisement. Visualization is a mental process in which the creative team, led by the art director and copywriter, determines the arrangements of various ad elements in advertisement. Here are some of the guidelines for visualization process. Number 1. To get a point across fast. 2. When the product is new or not widely recognized. 3. Name visual value. 4. If the appeal is primarily emotional. 5. If mood is more important than or narrative. 6. When awareness of an idea or the package is a more important objective than the action to be taken. 7. When impulse sales in self-service stores are important. Today we have learnt about copywriting and the various advertising techniques. We have also learnt about the concepts of ideation and visualization in advertising. Copywriting refers to an advertisement copy, like advertisements we come across in magazines, on billboards, in newspapers, and even text we see on TV. The art of copywriting involves the composition of headings, subheadings, and the body copy of advertisements, catalogs, or brochures. Copywriting is any writing that offers a product or service for sale. Unlike news or editorial writing, copywriting is all about getting the reader to take action. The various techniques are bandwagon technique, testimonial technique, snob appeal technique, plain folks technique, facts and figures technique, expert opinion technique, logical technique, informational or rational technique, glittering generalization technique, transfer or emotional technique, name calling technique, weasel word technique, repetition technique, humor technique, fear technique, sex technique, hyperbole technique, functional needs technique. Ideation is the creative process of generating, developing, and communicating new ideas, where an idea is understood as a basic element of thought that can be visual, concrete, or abstract. Ideation comprises all stages of a thought cycle, from innovation to development to actualization. Visualization is the process of using thought power to consciously imagine and create. Visualization refers to the execution of the visual idea, the elements such as layout, illustrations, colors, and the like that give shape to the idea of the advertisement. That is all that we have for you for today. We hope you enjoyed the session. See you again. Till then, thank you and namaskar.